Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 7 English lesson on nouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 7. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of nouns. All right. So our chapter is nouns. Our subject is English language arts. Grade 7. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on is to form and use plurals, basically a review, and also to form and use plurals of compound words. All right. So when it comes to nouns, right? Remember nouns, basically it tells us about it basically is a noun is a word that tells us either about people, places. A noun is basically people's, places, animals, things, right? And also when it comes to nouns, right? It You have singular nouns and you have plural nouns. So basically nouns firstly, right? It either refers to or it tells us. I think the correct word to use would be to refer. So we can say a noun is a word that refers to either a person, it refers to a place, animal, a thing, right? And you get different forms of nouns. So in today's lesson, we are going to find out about plural nouns. So you get singular nouns, which refers to one person, one animal, one place, one thing. And then we also have plural nouns, which refers to more than one person, more than one place, more than one animal, and more than one thing. All right. So when it comes to nouns, right, in order for us to form the plural of most of a noun, and remember plurals, right? Plurals refer to two or more people, two or more places, two or more things, two or more animals, right? So in order for us to form the plural of most of our nouns, then we just add an s. Let's say, for example, we have one fruit. Let's say one orange, right? So if we have one orange, which is your fruit, if we want to make mention of more than one orange, and then the we're going to add the s, and we're going to say oranges. One ball, we're going to add an s, so it's going to be balls, two or more balls, right? All right. And if we look at another example, right, we can say one tree. It's like one apple tree or whatever you have on the trees. But if we make mention of more than one, we say two trees. So all we did was we added an S. All right. So also when it comes to plural nouns, right? And then if a noun, if a noun ends in, for example, either S, ch, sh, x, or z, right? So if a noun ends in any one of those letters, and then we have to basically add es to make it plural. So we have to add es if a noun ends with any of those words. And if we look at the few examples, right? One of the examples is, for example, bush. It ends with this word. It ends with this one. So bush. So one bush, two or more bushes. So can you see we added an es to that word? Yes, so plural in general means that we are making mention of two or more people, places, animals, or things. Even with irregular, even with irregular nouns, right, it still makes mention of two or more things being plural, right? It's just that it is irregular, so which means that when we say it's not following any rules, all we mean is that we can't say that add an s, add an es, right? In order to, for example, um, show the plural form. But it also does follow the same, it also does include irregular plurals, right? All right. If we also look at another word, let's say, for example, if we use this word, ch, a word that ends with that word, let's say, for example, church. One church, two or more. Remember, we see that if a word ends with an ch or sh or s, x, or z, then all we do is we add an es to that word in order to show the plural form of the word, right? You're welcome. So, for example, if we have one church, right, then it's church. If it's more than one church, right, then we say church, es, so churches. All right, so basically we have churches because it also ends in ch. And even if we were to use the word one box, because remember they say words that ends with an x, so box. If we make mention of more than one box, then we say boxes. So all we do is we add an es, right? And that is how we, for example, show the plural form of words that ends with s, ch, sh, x, or z. And boxes refers to more than one box. And that is why we said you only add an es to that word and then it already shows the plural form of that word. The next one says if a noun ends in a consonant y. So if the noun ends with a consonant y, then we can drop the y and add the ies to make it plural. Right? Let's say for example, there we have that two examples, but another practical example we can say, I have one family, right? I have one family, but now if you're thinking of both of your, let's say parents, right? From your mom's side, from the dad's side, or so on, now we can say I have families. So if we were to refer to more than one family, and then we're going to add family, they said that we need to in, we're going to drop the y and add the ies. So we drop the y and we're going to add IES, which means that now I say I have one family, but I actually have more than one families. Families refers to more than one family. All right. And here we have another example. One baby, two babies. And as you can see, the Y was removed, the IES was there or is there. All right, then we also have, if we continue, and then it says that if a noun ends with if or if e, right, and the pronunciation is just if, sound changes to v. For example, life or lives. When it's plural, drop the if. All right. So we see that when it comes to, for example, if noun ends with an if, and the if sound changes to a V, like for example, life and lives, then we drop the if and we add the VES to make it plural. All right. Right. So that is basically, there are more words, there are more things, right? But what's more important is the fact that in order for us to form or to use plurals, right, there are certain rules that we must follow. So in this case, it's either we add an S to show the plural form, we add an ES to show the plural form, or we basically remove one letter and we add IES to a plural form, to that word, to make it seem as if we are referring to more than one. All right, so remember plurals refers to more than one, right? It refers to more than one. Two or more people, two or more places, two or more things, two or more animals, for example, right? All right, so now let's go to our, we're going to a plus students.ca. So we're only going to focus on form and use plurals and to form and use plurals of compound nouns. So let's go to the first one, form and use plurals. And we made mention of what we need to add in order to show the plural form of certain words, right? All right. So we made mention of when, for example, in order for us to form the plural nouns, we just add an S, right? And remember, plural noun, it refers to more than one person, more than one place, more than one thing, more than one animal, right? All right. So now we are here by A plus students.ca, where we are going over, for example, to form and to use plurals. All right. All right. Let's go to our test. So we're going to a test where we are going to say, we're going to complete the sentence with the correct plurals, right? And it says retail stores leverage market and psychology research to design effective and enticing product. Do we say product displays, or do we say option two, product display? So that's option one or option two, displays or display. All right, so we say retail stores leverage market and psychology research to design effective and enticing product. Yes, so we can say option one, displays. All right, so displays is correct. Often considered vegetables in the cooking world, are technically fruits. All right, so we can say often considered vegetables in the cooking world. Do we say tomato or tomatoes are technically fruits because they come from the ovary of the plant's flower and have seeds? All right, so if we were to select or to complete a sentence, we need to select the plural. We can then say that tomatoes are technically fruits because they come from the ovary of a plant's flower and have seeds. Yes, so tomatoes with an S. So well done. All right, so well done. The next one says the bakers at Miss Randall's shop hastily package 100, do we say loaf of bread or 100 loaves of bread, which would be picked up by caterers and served at the massive luncheon in less than an hour. All right, so if we were to choose the correct plural, remember loaf refers to one loaf, but if you refer it to more than one loaf, and then it is loaves. So we say that the bakers at Mr. Randall's shop hastily packaged 100 loaves of bread. So well done. Loaves is correct. All right. So now we say Susie's new house is located between, do we say two duplexes or do we say two duplex? But the tall elm trees surrounding her property afford her plenty of privacy. So we say Susie's new house is located between two, do we say duplexes or two duplex? But the tall elm trees surrounding her property afford her plenty of privacy. All right. And if we were to complete the sentence with the correct plural, something that is more than, right? It shows more than something that is being taken. All right, so we can say beautiful. Option one is correct. So we say Susie's new house is located between two duplexes, one duplex. But if there's more than one duplex, then we say duplexes. Option one. All right. Another one says a significant number of, do we say zoos or significant number of zoo worldwide have dramatically altered the image and now focus on more natural habitats and the conservation of endangered species. So we now need to choose the sentence with the correct plural. Is it zoos or zoo? Duplexes is a duplex is, let me try and draw it. Okay, so a duplex is, let's say for example, like a house, right? It is, you have your freestanding house, right? But now duplexes, it's almost like it's not necessarily flats, but it's like, let's say it's like a double story house that is, maybe there's like more than one double story houses that is next to each other. So those are duplexes. So duplexes are like your double story houses that is next to each other, but it's not necessarily flats, right? But they are against each other or next to each other, and we call those duplexes. All right. If we were to choose the correct option, and then we're going to say a significant number of zoos. Not one zoo, but more than one zoo, a zoos. And that is correct. You're welcome. All right, let's do the last one, then we're going to the next lesson. It says, while the 2011 median annual income, do we say for chef or for chefs, was approximately $40,000, celebrity chef and TV personality Gordon Ramsay earned $38 million that year. So if we were to make mention of our plural, the correct plural, do we say chef or chefs? All right. And if we were to choose the correct one, and then we will say that while in 2011 median annual income was income for chefs, because we're making mention of more than one chef, right? So chef, not chefs, chefs, right? All right, so now we're going to form and use plurals with compound nouns, right? All right, so when it comes to compound nouns, right, a compound noun, it consists of two independent clauses, right, that you join together. And once you join it together, and then you join it with a coordinating conjunction, such as and, but, or, and so. Those are compound nouns. Or, okay, no, that's not compound nouns. That's compound sentences. Compound nouns is like, for example, saying Prabha and Bina, right? Or saying Prabha and Nadine. That is compound nouns. It's like you're adding two names, two words that are nouns. All right. So now we are going to complete the sentence with the correct plurals, right? And I feel like we already went over all these plurals of how we either add just an S to show that there's more than one, or to add ES, or to change something where we drop the Y and we add IES. So now we're going to our test, right? Where we are still going to select the correct plurals, right? But now we're saying White House. Do we say chief of staff or chiefs of staff? Have traditionally served as presidential assistants. In fact, President Franklin D. Roosevelt first named the position Assistant to the President upon its creation in 1939. So if we look at that specific sentence, right, which one is the correct plural? Is it chief of staff or chiefs of staff? All right, and if we were to choose the correct plural form, right, and then we will choose option two, which is chiefs of staff. So beautiful. Well done. Chiefs of staff is correct. The next one says members of the Northern Atlantic Therapy Organization send their, do we say heads of state or do they send their head of state to periodic summits which occur when new policies are introduced or when new members are added? So if we were to add, or let's say if we were to choose the correct plural, is it heads of state option one or is it head of state option two? The plural form, heads of state option one or head of state option two. All right, and if we were to choose the correct plural, right, form, and then we can say these heads, more than one, we add an S, so it's heads of state, right? So well done. Heads of state is correct. So heads of state is correct. The election committee planned a formal, elaborate dinner. Do we say with the guests of honor or just with the guest of honor, the lieutenant governor and his wife at the head table? So is it guests of honor with an S or guest of honor? Option one or option two? All right, and if we were to choose our correct plural, and then we're going to choose option one, which is guests of honor, not guest of honor, one person, guests, meaning there's more than one guest of honor. And guests of honor is correct. right, and if we were to complete the sentence with the correct plural, remember plural refers to more than one thing, place, animal, or person. All right, so we can say, having survived the incredible demands of law school and passed the bar, Katie and Toby were proud to finally call themselves, to be say, attorney at law, or Katie and Toby, they can call themselves attorneys at law. All right, so well done. Well done. So we will say attorneys at law because it's more than one person, right? So well done. Almost done. It's the one more. It says, while cleaning the attic, I discovered two carefully wrapped. All right, so he says, while cleaning the attic, I discovered two carefully wrapped. Do we say music boxes or music box? One shimmering pink box with a twirling ballerina, and another adorned with brilliant flowers. Yes, so music boxes, we can say that. I discovered two carefully wrapped music boxes because we are making mention of more than one. All right. So we can say we're going to complete the sentence with the correct plural, right? Refers to more than one. This is the last one. It says Mr. and Mrs. Townsend hastily contacted several, do we say babysitters or babysitter, after the scheduled one cancelled at the last minute. So option one for babysitters or option two for babysitter. And if we were to choose the correct option, then we will say babysitters because we are referring to more than one babysitter. Yes, so well done, guys. Well done. So this is now the end of our lesson, grade sevens on nouns. And we said nouns, it tells us about a person, animal, place, or thing. And then we have plural nouns, right? Where it means that there are just two or more, make mentions of two or more people, two or more places, two or more things, right? Two or more animals. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for joining the class. So till next time, goodbye. All right, so that is the end of our lesson, guys. You must have a good evening further. Good boy. Bye. And you're welcome.